The laughter began as a scattered ripple, small, sharp, and easily ignored. But within seconds, it grew into an echo that rolled across the wedding hall like an unwelcome storm. It bounced off crystal chandeliers, drifted between clusters of glowing candles, and settled heavily over the white-draped tables. Beneath those lights, in a pale rose dress that trembled with each breath she tried to steady, sat Evelyn Hart. She did not cry loudly. She never had. Her heartbreak manifested in silence, quiet inhales, careful swallows, and the familiar ache of trying to hold herself together while the world examined her cracks. If you believe in kindness and second chances, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Loom. Evelyn's fingers clung to the edge of the table, as though it were the only thing keeping her upright. A few guests stood too close, pointing at her, their muffled mockery slicing through her composure. Her eyes, soft, brown, and shining with unshed tears, were fixed on the tablecloth, as though she wished she could sink into it, vanish beneath its folds, and escape the humiliation. This was supposed to be a night of celebration for her cousin, a night filled with warmth and joy. Instead, she felt every insecurity she had carried for years rise to the surface, raw and painful. She had always been the larger woman in the room, the one others glanced at before whispering. People rarely saw her gentle nature, her love for small beauties, or her quiet strength. They saw size, just size, and her years of resilience felt suddenly paper-thin tonight. The bridesmaids, draped in soft champagne gowns, made no effort to hide their disdain. They sipped their champagne while whispering behind polished nails, their glances slicing Evelyn's confidence down to fragments. A groomsman had leaned close moments earlier, pretending to adjust her chair, only to remark that it looked extra reinforced. Laughter followed him as he walked away. Evelyn folded into herself then, emotionally shrinking, even though her body had never cooperated with society's demands to do the same. She had come to support her cousin, to feel included for once. Yet the brilliant glow of the wedding lights only made her isolation more painfully visible. Her family, caught in the whirl of greetings and dancing, had not seen the cruelty unfolding right behind them. But one person had. His name was Rowan Blake. Rowan was not dressed like the others. Instead of a formal suit, he wore a dark vest over a crisp shirt, sleeves rolled neatly to his forearms, revealing a man accustomed to working with his hands. He carried a quiet steadiness, a grounded presence that contrasted beautifully with the polished, restless energy of the hall. As a widowed father raising his daughter alone, Rowan knew the language of pain, how it hid behind smiles, how it echoed in silence, how the smallest cruelty could reopen the deepest wounds. So when he saw Evelyn fighting tears while others laughed at her, something inside him stirred with unmistakable purpose. Well, the scene around her worsened. A bridesmaid leaned across Evelyn's table, pretending concern before delivering a cutting remark about people her size needing sturdier spaces. More laughter erupted, wild, thoughtless, and cruel. Evelyn's breath faltered, her hand rising to her cheek in a futile attempt to wipe tears that would not stop falling. That was when the energy of the room shifted. Rowan walked toward her, not quickly, but with unwavering intention. His steps were steady, his expression firm, protective, almost unyielding. Conversations dimmed as people noticed him approaching. Laughter softened, not from remorse, but from the unmistakable gravity of his presence. Even the bridesmaids hesitated, their smirks faltering as he neared. Evelyn did not see him at first. Her gaze remained fixed on her trembling hands and the delicate flower arrangement in front of her, her anchor in the storm. A part of her longed for someone, anyone, to intervene, though she no longer believed such kindness existed for her. And then Rowan was there. He rested a gentle hand on the back of her chair, not touching her, but declaring his presence, his support, his refusal to stand idle. His eyes locked into the group of guests surrounding her, and without a single word, they stepped back. There was something in his gaze that dismantled their cruelty, something that reminded them of decency, of shame, of the simple truth that they had gone too far. Finally, Evelyn looked up. Her tear-filled eyes met Rowan's steady, compassionate expression. Confusion flickered across her face, followed by disbelief, followed by an emotion she had not felt in far too long. Relief. Someone had seen her, truly seen her. Rowan took the empty seat beside her, not imposing himself, not forcing conversation, simply offering presence. A quiet shield against the cruelty that had surrounded her moments before. That silent gesture, warm and respectful, carried more comfort than a dozen reassuring speeches ever could. As dinner was served, Rowan leaned slightly toward her and quietly suggested they step outside for a breath of air. The cool night greeted them softly. Under strings of golden wedding lights, they walked slowly, speaking in calm, honest tones about life, loss, loneliness, and the unexpected ways strangers can bring light into one another's shadows. For the first time in years, Evelyn felt seen not as a body to be judged, but as a soul to be understood. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Tell us in the comments which moment of this story moved you the most. When Evelyn and Rowan re-entered the hall, something had changed. The whispers were gone. The laughter had quieted. And even though the evening had begun in heartache, it ended with something far more powerful. Courage, comfort, and the profound reminder that sometimes the kindest hands are the ones we never expect to reach for us.